Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really something to ball. Not those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shea Stadium, and we are finally home after a long spring. Tonight, the New York Mets begin their 2007 home campaign versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Sports Time Machine bringing you live New York Met baseball as the Mets take on the Phils. On the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies will be Chase Utley. On the mound for the New York Mets will be John Maine. Again, today we will again be doing what we've been doing the last couple games. We will roll our own dice with a dice roller. The Stratomatic PC will take care of all the figuring and the computing, and we'll go ahead and roll our own dice against the error charts and everything else in play. This again is game number 7 here. The New York Mets come in after a 3-3 road stand. The Philadelphia Phillies are 4-2. Hammels on the mound for the Phils, Maine for the Mets. The lineups are as played lineups: Rollins, Victorino, Utley, Howard, Burrell, Ruiz, Roland, Nunez, and Hammels. For the Amazons, Reyes leading off, followed by LaDuca, Beltran, Delgado, Wright, Alou, Green, Valentine, and on the mound is John Maine. Keys of the game, and let's go over the Shea Stadium statistics. Um, Ballpark singles to lefties 1-7. Ballpark singles to righties 1-4. Home runs are 1-6. Ballpark, here is your diamond notes or your keys of the game. The Mets going to need some distance. They got 7 innings out of the first start of the year from John Maine. They're going to need that again. Again, they are kind of going deep in their bullpens last few games. It was a bit of a tough road trip. They've lost the last two. So they need to keep winning, and they're going to need to do that with Carlos Beltran. He came off a very horrible first 6 games of the season, so we need to see the old Carlos Beltran come out strong in this one. And of course, they need to stop the big bats, the Phillies. That is going to be J. Roll, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, and Rhino Ryan Howard. So this is a beefy Philadelphia lineup, and the Mets are going to have to do these few things if they want to win. So this is game 7, 42-degree weather. So it's a very chilly Monday afternoon here in Flushing. It is game. We are here. Mets 3-3, while the Philadelphia Fighting Phillies are 4-2. Play ball from Philly. So let's go ahead and bring the dice back in play. I did not want to do that though. That made it a lot bigger than it needed to be. Oops, sorry. Let's see if I can minimize. Oh, that stunk. All right, let's see if I can minimize that again. I made it a little bit too big. Hopefully, you guys don't see that. That is kind of harsh. Let's see. Let's look at and see what we're all looking at here on the camera, and I can see if we're okay. Yeah, that is going to be a problem. Let's see if I can expand this out for you. Sorry about the start of the ball game. A little bit of a delay. Probably somebody ran out being an idiot. So let's go ahead and see. We can go ahead and maybe make our screen bigger, or we're going to go ahead and reset the roller. That's always works. So let's go ahead and remove the roller. It's now gone. Let's see if I can go ahead and hit. Whoops, let's hit it. Let's see if we can hit X on this. Give me a second. There we go. Let's get rid of that. So, all right. Let's go ahead and see if we can re-add the roller here and play ball once again. I'm going to probably have to pull that on my computer real quick. Give me 1 second. We're going to get this game underway. Please, hopefully, get some crowd tonight. If you do, please come on in. I always want to enjoy people come in and watch the game. and then we can go ahead and get this party started. So again, let me see if I could find where my dice roller is going to be hiding. Give me 1 second. I got to see where I'm hiding it. Of course, I'm sorry, folks. Again, this is my fault on this. So let's see. Roller. Let's see if I can find it on the computer here. And of course, do I find it? No, I don't. Let's see. Might have to. Might have to try something. Might have to try something else here. All right. Let's see if it pops up on there, or is it hiding in my, so people can come on out and sit. We'll go ahead and get this game started. Give me one. Sorry about that, folks. Give me a second, and we'll get this started. Trying to see where I hid this at. Now I can't find it. So let's see here. Oh, of course, the worst nightmare doing one of these things is trying to find what you're looking for and then not finding it at all. So give me a second, please, and I'll hopefully get this going. If not, we may have to use the dice that are come with the game, or we can start rolling. We might start rolling our own dice today, folks. That's always an option. That is never a bad thing. Then again, that means getting my camera set up to do this. So just I may have to see if I can get the dice ready to do this. All right, let's see. So, folks, we have a little bit of a stop here. So, just give me 1 second. I'll be right with you. And we're gonna go ahead and diminish this side here. Hopefully, this side here. And do this, and let's see. Why is it's that? Huh? Oh yeah, gonna have to play on. All right, let's see if we can get this to work here. Kind of lost my dice in the process, so let's see. And then we'll go ahead and let's see. Oh, again, I'm just trying to man that sort of got lost here. Oops. That didn't help us, did it, folks? Give me a second. And let's see. Oh, let's see. Do I have anybody here? Let's see. Give me 1 second here. One moment here. No. All right. That's fine. I'll just go ahead and end stream here real quick. And no. Hang on. This is what it will do. Sorry, folks. What we'll do, just for a fast reset here, we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and play with the normal. Actually, I know what I can do. It's going to be not exactly the best thing, but I'm sure I can probably do it. We're going to roll dice off the camera. So that works for me too. That kind of gets me to still roll dice and play. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, not gonna be able to see the dice, almost kind of be a sort of pseudo broadcast here. Let's see if we can get things completely started and play ball. Close all tabs there. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and put two d6s and 2d6s and a 20, or actually it's going to be 3d6s and a 20, and we'll see how that works. Ready to go. Here we go. Play ball from the stadium. And again, we're going to be using a off-camera dice roller just because I was having problems with the one I was using. So we're going to go ahead and use this. So for the Phillies, it's Rollins, Victorino, Utley, Howard, Burrell, Ruiz, Roland, Nunez, and Hammels. Top of the first inning, and here we go. We're started here in New York. Maine on the mound. He's the righty, 1-0, 3.86 ERA, 5 hits over 7 innings, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Here is the pitch, and that's going to be a 4-6. That's a walk. So Rollins leads off with the walk. So not a start they wanted. Rollins will probably run. Let's see. Rollins is going to start 31%. He will go. No, he does not. So again, John Maine keeps him close. Here's Victorino. 18 at bats, 2 doubles, and 4 RBIs. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a 1-8. That's a single, 2 stars. So a base hit, that was base hit, knocks him around. Rollins the third, and the Phillies have first and third with nobody out. So here's Chase Utley. So the Mets are already in trouble. John Maine looking a little ragged right now. Maybe he's not into it. Utley hitting 318, a home run, and 7 RBIs. Here from the stretch is John Maine. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 3-9. Struck him out. And a big strikeout for John Maine. He needed that one. Here is Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard hitting 364, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Of course, it's a monster year for Rhino. Left-handed big bull hitter. Luduka puts down the sign. Maine from the stretch. Can he get the big pitch here? 5-10 ballpark single, 1-7. That is a one. That's a base hit for Ryan Howard. He hit a laser, and that is a base hit for Ryan Howard. It will drive in Rollins. Victorino will go to second, and the Phils lead it 1-0. So first and second, one out for Pat Burrell. Burrell steps up, first and second, one out. Maine from the stretch gets the sign and the pitch. 111 is going to be a single 1-5. That is a 9. So let's find out and see what again the game gives me. Make sure 111, yep, and it's a 9, so there's no hit. That is going to be a line drive or a ground out, I should say. It's a line out of short, 2 outs. Here is Carlos Ruiz hitting 182, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. Let's see if Maine can get out of this first inning, only giving up a run. From the stretch is Maine. Here is the pitch. 6-4 is going to be a catch X. Now the catching rating of Luduka is a 3E1. Let's see if he's able to make the play on this. So let's go again. 6-4 for Luduka. And let's see if he makes the play. We'll roll it again. So we're looking at the 20. The 20 is going to be a 7. That's a possible pass ball or pop up. It's going to be on the 11, so there's no error. Let's see if they get the pass ball or not. And they do. So a pass ball by LaDuca. Second and third, 2 outs, and Carlos Ruiz remains at the plate. So Maine now has a problem. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Chooch can get a hit in with a runner in scoring position, a 3-9 versus a righty. Maine from the stretch. Here is the pitch. 5-6, fly ball center field. John Maine will duck in and out of trouble. Beltran with the catch. Side is retired. Phillies strand 2. 1-0 fighting Phils. The Mets will now go here, bottom of the first inning. Beatles internally here. Hello, Beatles. How are you? Welcome in. Sorry, I'm having a problem with the dice roller tonight, so I'm kind of rolling off camera with an app I use. Using that right now, but I'm trying to keep with the roll, the dice scenario for this game. Here's Jose Reyes leading off. He's hitting 276 an RBI. He fell kind of flat in yesterday's ball game. He had a good series, had a good road trip, two triples. 276, he stole four bases. Cole Hammels on the mound. He's 0-1, rough first start. 5 innings, 8 hit ball, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Reyes will bat righty against Hammels. Hammels looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Reyes. That's a 4-5. 5 ball left field. Burrell is there, makes the catch, and there's one away. And now here's Paul LaDuca. LaDuca hitting 148, 27 at bats. He struggled. He was off yesterday. Ramon Castro got the start. Here it is, right-handed batter against Hammels. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. 6-7 is a strikeout looking. So LaDuca down on strikes. That is 2 outs. And now brings up Carlos Beltran. He was one of our features of the game earlier. He only hit 214 on the road trip, 28 at bats with one RBI, still looking for his first extra base hit. Beltran steps up, Hammels from the windup. Here's the pitch. 4-5, the 5 ball left field. Things haven't changed. Burrow with the catch makes it, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down, go to Mets. 1 inning of play. Phillies 1, Mets nothing. Here's Aaron Rowland. He'll be followed by Nunez and Cole Hammels. John Maine in his second inning of work. Maine looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Good play by Captain America, David Wright. He flexes, throws, got him one away. Here is now Abraham Nunez. He's 1 for 1 on the season. He's also stolen a base. Maine with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 110. Ground ball to short. Nice play there by Reyes. He's got it, throws it across the diamond, and there's 2 outs. Here's Cole Hammels hitting 141 on the season, a couple RBIs. He's a left-handed hitter. Maine with the windup and the pitch. 4-2 is a walk. He walks the opposing pitcher. That's not John Maine did not want to do. It brings the top of the lineup up to one of the premier shortstops in the game, Jimmy Rollins. Walked, scored the first time up. He'll bat lefty against Maine. Maine from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 5-2. That's a deep drive into right field. That could be trouble for Green. Way back, gone, goodbye. Ballpark home run on a 4-2. That automatically, that ball will travel out of here. Home run on, oh, oops, sorry. Let's redo that. Sorry, folks. Let's go ahead and redo on that play. Let's undo. That's a 5-2. That is a ballpark home run or a ballpark blast. 1-6 is the home run. The split die was the 3, and that's gone, goodbye. J roll sends it out of here, and the Phillies lead it 3-0. So now here's Shane Victorino. Maine looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch to the switch hitting flying Hawaiian. 5-8 is a strikeout looking to retire the side. 2 runs for the Phillies in the second. We go to the bottom 2, 3-0 Phils. Now, what we talked about in the beginning of the game, what the Mets need to win, John Maine does not have his good stuff. And again, they're not getting anything out of Carlos Beltran. And they gave up a home run to one of the Phillies' premier hitters. So all the three negatives we talked about, it had to happen, is not happening. So that's how baseball is. You don't get 1, 2, or 3 happening, they're not going to win. So the Mets down 3 in the second. Let's see if their offense can pull it together. Delgado right and Aluda bat. So Delgado left-handed hitter against Hammels. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. 4-8 struck him out. Oh, Delgado looked bad on that one. Big strikeout for Hammels, his second of the ball game. So now here is Captain America, much better hitter against lefties, hitting 280 on the season, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He started coming on late in the road trip. Hammels looks in, gets the sign and the pitch. 5-3, ground ball back to Hammels. Hammels should make the play on this. He is a 2-8. Let's see if he does or not. We'll look on the throw. The 12, he'll get to it in time. And on a 5 is going to be a rare play. Nobody on base. So that's an easy out for Hammels. And there's 2 outs. And here's Moises Alou hitting 348 on the road trip, 23 at bats, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs. Probably the most pleasant surprise for the Mets in their road trips against the St. Louis Cardinals again and the and the Atlanta Braves. They took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals, and they lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves. Hammels looks in, gets the sign, and here's the pitch. That's going to be a 4-10 ground ball to short, hit at one of the best, Jamie Rollins. Rollins is a 1E12. He will get to it. It's a 12. He does. Let's see if the fielding play gets it. It's going to be a 15, and it's in the dirt. An error by Rollins. So Jimmy Rollins throws it away. Moises Alou gets on. So the Mets have a 2-out rally with an E6 on Jamie Rollins. Here is Sean Green. His average started to spike a bit. Late in the road trip, 23 at bats, three doubles, a triple, and an RBI, hitting 304. Lefty lefty matchup, Hammels from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 411. Unfortunately, that's going to be a single on a only on a one. It's the 20 on the D20. That will be denied. And the Mets go down. They leave a runner on. The error doesn't hurt them. We played two, Phillies three, Mets nothing. It's Utley, Howard, and Burrell against John Maine. Maine on the mound, top of the third, looks in 42-degree weather here at Shea. Here is the pick. Here's the sign. 6-4 is going to be a catch X. No one's on base. It should be an easy play for LaDuca. He's a 3E1. That's an 18. That's a ground ball in front of the plate. He scoops it, throws him out for the quick out. Nice little lane for LaDuca. Threw out Utley for the quick out. Here's Ryan Howard. RBI single his first time up. It was his eighth RBI. Howard will bat lefty against the righty Maine. Maine with the windup and the pitch. 212 is a ballpark single 1-7. That is denied. Nice play by Jose Valentin. The roll of the eight will stop it. So nice play by Valentin to get the second out of the inning. So now here is Pat Burrell. Burrell hitting 217 with four ribbies. Lined out his first time up. Maine looks in, gets the sign and the pitch. That's going to be deep drive to left field, but a home run only on a 1. 3-5. But it's a 5 on the D20. It's caught by Moises Alou. Side is retired. And we go to the bottom of third. Phillies 3, Mets nothing. So we're bottom of third here in New York Mets replay. It's a good game so far. Mets trying to avoid their third loss in a row. Valentin, Maine, and Reyes will bat against Hammels here. Hammels looks in, gets the sign. Valentin hit 348 on the road trip, 23 at bats, three doubles, and two RBIs. Here's the pitch. 6-4, ground ball to short. Hammels has the cutter going. Good play by Rollins, throws him out and one away. So now we go to John Maine. Maine steps up. He had a home run on the season. We'll see if he can get one here. Hammels with a windup and oopsie. Get it back. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a 2-2. Fly ball in the right field. Back goes Victorino. He's right in front of the track, makes the catch. And that is 2 outs. So now here is Jose. Well, wait. Let's stop. Let's undo that last play. It should be a 2-2. That should be the fly out to right field. So 2 outs. We go back to the top of the order for Reyes. Reyes to swing. Reyes 0 for 1. You can tell maybe he's starting to see he had such a fast start. We'll see if Mets need him to stay hot. Ruiz puts down the sign. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. 1-8 ground ball to third. Picked up by Nunez. Got it. Throws it across the diamond. Got him. And the Mets go 1-2-3 quietly. We played 3 here at Shea. Home opener 2007 season. Phillies 3, Mets nothing. Top of the fourth, 3-3-1 for the Phillies. Nothing across for the Mets. John Maine comes out for the fourth inning. Carlos Ruiz, the batter. Maine with the windup and pitch to Chooch. 6-11, ballpark single 1-4. Got the 5. So that will be a line out for Chooch Ruiz. Oops. Let's do a pop up. That's fine. Pop up to the catcher for Ruiz. That still gets the out. And here's Aaron Rowland. Rowland grounded out his first time up. And here's the pitch from Maine. 1-6. 1-6, though, is a single on a 1-8. That's a 12. That's a line drive. Nice catch there by Jose Reyes. 2 outs. Here, 2 outs in the fourth inning. Here's Abraham Nunez, 0 for 1. Maine looks in, gets the sign. The left-handed hitting Nunez and the pitch. 3-5 struck him out. So John Maine gets a big strikeout. We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning here in Shea Stadium. Phillies 3, Mets nothing. Mets come up with LaDuca, Beltran, and Delgado. So LaDuca comes up 0 for 1. Hammels gets in. Hammels seems to be in a groove. Here's the pitch from Hammels. 5-6 struck him out. LaDuca swung and missed. One away. Third strikeout of the day for Cole Hammels. And now here's Carlos Beltran starting to hear some boos. Flied out his first time up. That big contract, you can tell. You don't perform in New York, you're going to hear it. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a struck him out. Beltran on strike. This time he got him on the inside corner. Bat did not leave the shoulder. And that's 2 outs here in the fourth. So here's Carlos Delgado. Delgado struck out his first time up. Big left-handed boomstick for the Mets. Hammels looks in, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch from Hammels. 5-7. There's a drive down the right field line. That could be trouble. It's down the line. Opposite field double for Delgado. Mets have their first hit of the ball game. Off the wall. Victorino plays it in, and the Mets have a 2-out double. So now here's David Wright. So they got the first hit. Let's see if the Mets can now get back in this. Wright, a tremendous hitter versus left-handed pitching. Moises Alou on deck. Hammels from the stretch. Here is the pitch. 6-6 is a single, 1-19. Gets to 7. Base hit for David Wright. Captain America comes through. It's only a one-star single. Runners will go first and third. Mets bring the tying runner to the plate for the Mets' hottest hitter, Moises Alou. Coming over from the Giants. Through 24 at bats, he is so far having a tremendous year. 3 home runs, 7 ribbies. First and third, 2 outs. Can he get the swing he needs? Hammels from the stretch looks in, gets the sign. 5-10. Ground ball to third. That is Abraham Nunez. Let's see, can he make the play? He's a 222. He cannot make the play. He knocks it down. Oh, it's a rare play. That might have ended the inning. Oh, what a break they got. And they do. Okay, it's a base hit. Okay. Nunez comes up with the long throw, not in time. Delgado scores from third. Wright takes second. So it's an infield base hit. For some reason, they gave Nunez the long infield hit. He had it in his glove, but he couldn't make the play. The slow footed Alou still beats it. Mets on the board. It's 3-1. So now here in the bottom of the fourth, Mets with the tying runners on. Sean Green, the batter, much better hitter against versus right-handed pitching. Hammels works from the stretch. 3-1 Phillies. Here's the pitch. 4-7 struck him out looking. Sean Green sent back, and that retires the side. The Mets get a run on 3 hits. They strand 2. We played 4 here in Flushing. Home opener for the New York Mets. 3-1 Phils. So now we go to the top of the fifth inning. What a wonderful game we have. The Hammels, followed by Rollins and Victorino in the fifth. Maine trying to give the Mets some innings. Luduca puts down the sign. Maine with the windup and the pitch. 5-6 struck him out. Big strikeout for John Maine. So John Maine gets a whiff. That'll be his 4th strikeout of the game, 11th on the season. Here's Rollins. Rollins 1 for 1, a walk and a 2-run homer. Maine looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Rollins. 6-9. Again, a deep drive down the right field line. Back goes Green. Back goes Green. Gone. Home run. Jimmy Rollins has done it again. His 2nd home run of the ball game. Home run won the 14. That's a 3. And Rollins sends it out of here, says Harry Karras. And the Phillies made it 4-1. So Rollins' 2nd tank of the day. Phillies lead at 4-1 in the fifth, and here's Shane Victorino. Victorino steps up. Maine looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to the flying Hawaiian. 5-6 struck him out. 2nd out of the inning. So he's kind of sandwiched the strikeouts, but he gave up the long home run to Rollins. Here's Utley. Utley, a left-handed batter. Maine looks in, gets a sign in the pitch, and that's gonna be a long drive to deep right field. That's trouble for Utley. He hits it back, and gone. Home run, Chase Utley. He hit it hard. He hit it far, and he hit it gone. 1-5. Home run won the four, and he got the one split, and the Phillies lead it 5-1. The third home run of the ball game. Two from Rollins and one from Utley. We talked about the scouting report stopping this monster of a Philly lineup that can really be hard to pitch against. We talked about Maine giving the Mets innings. We talked about Beltran being Beltran, and they're getting neither, and they're giving the Phillies everything they want. So the complete reverse of the scouting report we gave early in this game. Here's Ryan Howard, 1 for 2 with the RBI. Maine looks in. Here is the pitch and the sign. 5-3. It's a comebacker hit to John Maine. Let's see if he gets it. He's a 4-0. He should be able to make the play. He does on the 12 and throws them out, and that will be it. But the Phillies get two more runs, home runs by Rollins and Utley. Phillies lead 5-1. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. So the Philly power is on display here. Here's Valentine followed by Maine and Reyes. Mets trying to get here on the board. Will they bat Maine in the fifth, or will he be done after four or after five? Again, Mets need to get innings out of their starters. Ruiz puts down the sign. Hammels looks in. Here's a pitch to Valentine. That's a strikeout looking. How many of those do they have? They're not swinging the bat. If you don't swing, you're not going to hit. Another strikeout looking for Hammels, and that's one out here in the fifth. Here's John Maine now. Maine on, he fight out his first time up. Let's see if they'll call him back. They might call him back and say enough is enough. We'll see who the Mets can bring in. They could probably bring in Weiss. He might be the one to be called. Burgess got pitched in the actual game, so he may get the rip here. So let's see who the Mets call out. They will call in see again how do you pronounce his name again. Lastings Millage. So Lastings Millage will come on out. Very little playing so far. Millage on the year. No, this is his first at bat of the season for the Mets. Right-handed hitter against Hammels. Hammels looks in and the sign and the pitch. There it is. Oh no, he did hit it 3-5. That's a triple. 1-10. Gets the 10. So that's a triple for Lastings Millage. Lastings Millage leads off the bottom of the fifth inning with a double. So a leadoff double for Millage. And the Mets have something going. So the Met fan trying to keep their confidence here. Here's Jose Reyes. He's 0 for 2. Hammels looks in, gets a sign. Runner on second, one out. Pitch to Reyes. All sixes, 6-12. Fly ball left field. That's Burrow. That could be a trouble. Burrow is a 4E14. That could be Little League home run written all over it. Let's see if he makes the play on it. That's going to be a 20. He actually makes it on a 17. No, it's an E3. He went for the shoestring catch and went all the way to the wall. Millage scores. Here comes Reyes. He'll go to third standing. And that will be an E7. The ball went right off the glove, went to the wall. Roland couldn't get to it. By the time he did, Reyes went around third, was stopped there. You're trailing 4 runs. You're not going to try to test the arm of the outfielder there. And now the Phillies lead it 5-2. So an E7, a 3-base error, and the Mets are back in this. Here's Paul LaDuca, 5-2 ball game. Ruiz puts down the sign. Hammels from the stretch in the pitch. 3-8 is a ground ball to short. The infield is not in. That will score Reyes easy from third. Ground ball to short. Throws to the first. Reyes scores, and the Mets cut the lead to 5-3. So here's Beltran. Boys, he's starting to hear some boost. 30 at bats and a ribby. No extra base hits. Hammels with the windup. Here's the pitch to Beltron. And no, he finally gets a base hit. Double 1 to 8, single 9 to 20. That is the 20. That is going to be a long single for Beltron. So he gets a big hit here. And the Mets all of a sudden bring the tying runner to the plate with Carlos Delgado. Can the Mets get something going here in the fifth, bringing the tying run to the plate? Hammels right now kind of self-destructing with Burrow's error. Hammels from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 3-10 ground ball to first, picked up by Howard. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that is it. But the Mets get two, they strand one. We have a ball game here at Shea. Phillies 5, Mets 3. So the Phillies defense trying to give the Mets the game. Two errors for the Phillies so far. And now the Mets are going to need a new pitcher heading into the sixth inning. Okay, Millage is a four altogether, so he's not going to stay in the game. So who is the pitcher of length on this team? They're going to bring in Schoenweiss. Schoenweiss is going to have to get some innings for him. Oh, he's tired. Never mind. Let's not do that. Let's undo the last play. Let's give him the 3-10 back again. He'll be out, and we'll go ahead and switch to pitcher. Didn't think Schoenweiss, with the long name he has, I didn't think he came up as being tired, but he did. So let's see what the options are here. They have Howman, Feliciano. Oh, I guess we go Burgess. So I guess Burgess will come in. So new pitcher for the New York Mets. Oh, shoot. What did we do here? So Burgess will come in for Millage and we'll put him in the ball game. So and what is we have? What is this? Ambrosio Burgess, Burgos. This is his. He's pitched a game, went 1 inning, had one strikeout. So we'll see if he can give the Mets some length here in the sixth inning. It will be Burrow, Ruiz, and Howard the bat. Burgess actually pitched in the actual game. Burgess looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch to Pat Burrow. 5-9 to strikeout. Big strikeout there. So Burgess gets one there, one away. Good way to start. And here is Carlos Ruiz. He's 0 for 2. Laduca puts down the sign. Burgess with the windup and the pitch. 4-9. Ground ball is short. He hits it at Reyes. Reyes pretty dependable. He's a 2E12 on the air rating. He gets to 7, so he'll field it. He'll come up with it on the 7 on the air, throws him out, 2 outs. So Burgess giving the Mets 2 quick outs here. And here's Aaron Rowland. He's 0 for 2, a ground down the line out. Burgess with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 2-12 base hit left field for Aaron Rowland. So Aaron Rowland is on. Now brings up Abraham Nunez. Nunez over to a ground down, a strikeout, left-handed hitter. Burgess from the stretch and the pitch. 2-8, struck him out. Big strikeout for Burgess. And the Met pitcher gives the Met a very needed inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's 5-3 Phils. 5-3 Phillies going on here. Hope everyone's enjoying the game so far this evening. It'll be David Wright, followed by Moises Alou and Sean Green. So now David Wright comes up. Hammels still in the game, stays in there. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. 3-5 ground ball to short. That is Rollins. Comes up with it, throws him out, one away. Good play by J. Roll there. Here is Moises Alou, 1 for 2 with the RBI. His consistent hot bat continues. Hammels with the lineup and the pitch. 4-11. That's a single on a 4. Rolls to 17. So that will be a line drive to the shortstop for Moises Alou. 2 away. 2 quick outs. Now here's Sean Green, right fielder. Let's see what Sean Green does. He's 0 for 2, a line out, a strikeout, lefty lefty matchup. We don't substitute till the seventh inning since we're playing as played lineups. Ruiz puts down the sign. Hammels with the pitch. 1-6, ground ball to short. Rollins is there. Easy play. And Cole Hammels has a 3-up, 3-down inning, what he needed. We go to the seventh. It is 5-3 Phils. Burgess will stay out there. He'll pitch to, let's see if he pitches to Hammels here. And then we go to Rollins and Victorino. Let's go to Hammels' numbers. Let's see. Hammels was a 7. He gave them 180 innings. 42-degree day going into the seventh inning. Let's look at the Philly bullpen and see if they got guns, and they got guns. So they got some good arms in this bullpen. So what are they going to want to do is the question. So Ryan Matson could be a good option here. Okay, who is their closer? Madsen, Moyer, Myers, Myers 21 saves, and he is fatigued. Oof. So this team is going to have to put some innings together. They don't have their normal closer. He is right now fatigued. So we'll see what happens. Hammels will swing. They're going to ask him maybe to give him another inning. So here is Burgess again. Ambrosio Burgess with the pitch. So 3-9 is a strikeout for Hammels, one away. So Hammels will stay in there. Here is Jimmy Rollins now. Rollins has walked, hit a 2-run homer, and then hit a solid home run. So he's 2 for 2 in the ball game. Burgess looks in, gets a sign. Here's the pitch. 6-7, and he hits a 1-5 double. No, Beltran with a sliding catch for the second out. So 6-7 double on a 1-5, rolls the 13, and that is going to be the second out. So now batting with 2 outs will be Shane Victorino, the flying Hawaiian, 1 for 3, a single and a couple strikeouts. Burgess looked to give the second strong inning here. Burgess with the windup to the switch hitting left-hander. 6-6. That's going to be a solid double to center field. Victorino hits it over the head of Beltran. Beltran goes in. Victorino goes in the second. The throw is back in. He stays, and the Phillies have a 2-out rally. A 2-out double for Victorino, and here is Chase Utley. 1 for 3, solid. He had a home run back in the fifth inning. Now, what do the Mets do? Seventh inning and 2 outs. Let's see if they decide with a couple lefties coming up, and they're going to go to Pedro Feliciano here. So Feliciano will come again overused, but he's been so far. This is the Mets' seventh game of the season. He's been in 5 innings, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts. The lefty pitcher, left-handed on, will pitch. So in the spots here, Utley ready to swing. Feliciano looks in. LaDuca puts down the sign. Here is the pitch. 3-6 is a walk. Oh, a walk against another lefty. Feliciano did not need that. First and second, 2 outs. Now it brings up the bash and Ryan Howard. So the big lefty comes up, 2 on and 2 out. Can Feliciano make the pitch here? First and second, 2 out from the stretch is Feliciano in the pitch. 6-11, ground ball to second. Good play by Valentine. He gets it, throws him out the first, and the Phillies go down the seventh. They strand 2. Seventh inning stretch here at Shea. Phillies 5, Mets 3. So Valentine followed by probably a pinch hitter for Feliciano and Reyes here in the seventh. So Hammels will stay out there. Valentine is 0 for 2 in the ball game, batting right-handed. Hammels with the windup and the pitch. 5-10, ground ball to third. That is going to be Nunez again. 2E22. That's a 9. He fields it on the gun on the 11. Just makes the play. Gets it over there. Howard with a nice reach, and there's one away. So 1 out in the seventh, and the Mets probably will have to go back to their bullpen. So not a long outing for Feliciano, and they'll bring in Julio Franco. He'll get the at-bat here. Franco so far 0 for 3. Hammels looks in, gets the sign, the full windup here to the ever young Julio Franco. 3-6. That's a strikeout for Franco. Nice curveball by Hammels, and that's the second out of the inning. So Franco strikes out, second out. 3-6, 2 outs, and now here is Reyes. Reyes 0 for 3. Reached on a 3-base error his last time up. 5-3 Phillies here in the seventh. Hammels looks in, gets the sign to switch hitting Reyes and the pitch. 4-7 fly ball center field. Looks like Cole Hammels has given the Phillies 7 strong innings. Center fielder is rolling, makes the catch, and after 7, Phillies 5, Mets 3. So now the Mets now need to make a move again. Again, this is not where they wanted to be. Joe Smith will come in and pitch for the Metropolitans here. Joe Smith on here, no record, no ERA, two innings of work, one walk, two strikeouts. Burl Ruiz and Aaron Rowland the bat for the Fighting Phils. Joe Smith with the windup and the pitch. All sixes, 6-12. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Ouch, that could hurt. Let's see, 6-12. Smith is a 3-0. He fields it. Let's see if he makes the play on it. And a 13, he does. And that is the first out. Good play by Joe Smith. He was an E0, so that was going to be an automatic put out once he fields it. So now with one out, here's Ruiz, 0 for 3. He flied out, popped out, ground out. If he strikes out, he would get the 4 simple outs in baseball. Ruduka puts down the sign. Joe Smith with the windup and the pitch. 4-8 is a walk. So Chooch gets on with the walk. Here is Aaron Rowland, 1 for 3, singled back in the 6th. Joe Smith looks in. Luduka puts down the sign. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a 6-6. Base hit right field. So a base hit. Ruiz will go to second. We'll see if he goes to third or not. I don't think you test the arm here. It's going to be a 1-12 to go to third. Will he go for third? Aaron Rowland's speed. Let's see what Rowland's running rating is. That'll be interesting to see if he goes to second on it. I think he automatically does go to second on the throw. Let's see. And we will send the runner. We'll send it. 1-12 to go to third, or he goes to second on the throw. We will go. Here's the throw to third. Oh, he makes it on the 12. Throws for the lead runner. A 12 is not in time. Just gets ahead of the throw. And yes, moves rolling the second. So the Phils go against the grain and get the extra base. Second and third one out for Abraham Nunez. Nunez, a switch hitter, then Hammels or a pinch hitter is on deck. Joe Smith will pitch. The infield will play in. Mets need to stop this run at third. Laduca puts down the sign. Smith from the stretch and the pitch. 2-7's a walk, and Joe Smith has totally lost the plate, and that could be it for Joe. Hammels up, but we may have a problem. Smith is tired, so let's see what the Phillies do. Actually, the pitching decision would come. Actually, the batter who would make the decision. I guess the batter would be announced first. So let's see. With the lefty, with the righty technically on the mound, we'll see if they call back. We'll see if they call him back here. And they're going to go to Dobbs here. Mets think they don't. Phillies think they don't have another lefty in the bullpen for Greg Dobbs. Let's see if the Mets can counter here and have a lefty come in. Besides Billy Wagner, they do not. Schoenweiss could come in, but he's tired, and you don't want to do that. So now you're in a little bit of a jam here with Heilman, Wagner as your only relievers that are not tired. Schoenweiss could come in, but he is practically pitching on fumes if he does. So with one out, Joe Smith will stay out there from the stretch. They're going to play the infield back. They're going to try to get the double play on Dobbs. So here is Smith from the stretch. Big pitch needed in this game. Here it is. 1-3. That's going to be a single on a 1-6. It's a 20. Holy cow, on a 1-3. Single on a 1-6. Gets the 20, and it's a line drive. The Dobbs hits it at Valentine. So with two outs, they can move the infield back. They're in a clutch situation for Rollins. He's a little anti-clutch. So with two outs, bases loaded, Mets trying to keep it at a 2-run deficit. Joe Smith trying to get out of this inning. And here is the pitch. From the stretch is Joe Smith trying to get the Phillies out of this. 6-5, and he's not. That's a line drive deep to right field over Sean Green's head. That could clear the bases. 6-5 is a double. A home run 1-3. The 11 will be a double, 2 stars. We'll see if they score Nunez on this. -3 arm. Nunez a 1-11 will hold that third, and the Phillies take a 7-3 lead as Jimmy Rollins having himself a game. 3 hits, 2 home runs, and 5 runs batted in. Here's Victorino, 2 for 4 with a double. Smith from the stretch and the pitch. 6/8 a walk, and he is totally just have nothing left. They're gonna have to come get him before it's too late. So now here is Chase Utley, and they're gonna have to probably bring on Schoenweiss to get the final out. They with a couple lefties up, they're not gonna let this totally get out of hand. So Schoenweiss comes in, no record, 3 innings of work, 1 walk over 3 innings, 1 hit. And now he needs to make a perfect pitch to Utley. Utley's 1 for 3, a home run and a walk. Lefty Schoenweiss to Utley and the pitch. That's going to be a 5-5 and a base hit. The tired base hit. Schoenweiss came in, did not have enough practice pitches. He showed being fatigued. That will go through for a base hit. Nunez scores. Here comes Rollins. Victorino to third, and the Mets now trail 9-3. A 4 spot for the Phillies here in the eighth. Here's Ryan Howard now, first and third, 4 in for the Phillies here. Showing Weiss from the stretch and the pitch. 1-9 deep drive to right field. Oh my goodness. The bullpen may not hold this one for Ryan Howard. This is far. This is deep. Holy cow. It is gone. Ryan Howard takes the grand tour. The Phillies with a 7 spot here in the eighth, and they have taken a 12-3 lead on opening day here at Shea Stadium. And now here's Pat Burrell. He might as well, Sean Weiss might as well stay out there and get the pitch in. Here's the pitch. 4-6, and that's a fly ball right field. So the tired hit just killed him. That will be a catch, and the Phillies are finally out of there. Phillies score 7 in the eighth. Phillies 12, Mets 3. So I believe for the Phillies, they'll probably go with Clay Condrey here, and he'll come in to finish it for the Fighting Phils. Or at least he'll come in and pitch the eighth. Boy, this game just totally went out of hand, totally fast. Let's go ahead and continue. Oh, Sean, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Here's LaDuca, followed by Beltran and Delgado. Condry in for the Fighting Phils. LaDuca 0 for 3. The sellout crowd here at Shea Stadium starting to go quickly here. Here's a pitch from Condry. 112. Line drive hit hard right at Jimmy Rollins, one away. 112. Line out Max, one away. Here is Carlos Beltran. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Condry at the windup and the pitch. 3-7 struck him out in the sands, getting all over Carlos Beltran. A 1 for 4 day will not stop the boos for Carlos. Here's Delgado, 1 for 3 of the double back in the fourth. Condry with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 6-8 and a walk. So Delgado goes to first on a 2-out walk, and he'll bring up David Wright. David Wright so far in the ball game is 1 for 3. Condry from the stretch with Delgado at first. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 4-6. That's a single to center field. So David Wright comes through again. He's just the all-American boy on this Met team. Another base hit. Delgado will stop at second. First and second, 2 outs, and here comes Moises Alou. Mets trying to get some kind of little run here, but it's too little, too late. Phillies with a 7-run eighth inning. Ruiz puts down the sign. Condry from the stretch and the pitch. 4-7, a base hit to right field. Let's see if that scores. I don't think he'll score Delgado. He's got what they call lead feet. He probably will not even go on 2 outs. 1-12. Victorino is a -3. That's a 1-10. They'll hold them there. And the Mets have the bases loaded now with 2 outs for Sean Green, another former Blue Jay. 269 hitter, 0 for 3. Green comes in. Can he get a big fly here to get the Mets at least within some striking distance? Ruiz puts down the sign. Condry from the stretch looks in. Bases loaded. 2-out pitch to Sean Green. 1-7 fly ball left field. That's Pat Burrell. He'll come in. He'll make this catch. He'll make the catch. And the Mets will strand the bases loaded. We go to the top of the ninth inning. Phillies 12, Mets 3. So, does Schoenweiss stay out there to take the beating at this point? And otherwise, it could be like a position player anyway, so which you can't really do. So Schoenweiss will stay out there. We'll see if the Mets have anything else out of their bullpen. No, I'm not. I don't want to bring in Wagner or Heilman here. Might as well save their arms. So Schoenweiss will take one for the team. Seeley is still hurt, or he'd be an option. So, or he's still in, or he's still fatigued. Laduca puts down a sign, and Scott Schoenweiss stays in the pitch to Carlos Ruiz. And here's the pitch. 3-7. That's a ground ball to short. Good play by Reyes. Throws him out, and there's one away. So now batting will be Aaron Rowland, 2 for 4, singles back in the sixth and eighth inning. Schoenweiss with a windup and the pitch. 2-9, struck him out. Big strikeout for Scott Schoenweiss. 2 outs here in the ninth. And here's Abraham Nunez. Nunez has struck out and walked the last 2 innings. He's 0 for 3 and a couple strikeouts. So Schoenweiss trying to pitch a good ninth inning here. 6-5, struck him out. Looking good second inning for Schoenweiss. He'll be done. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Phillies lead it by 9, 12-3. 12-12-2 for the Phillies, 3-7-0 for the Mets. And for the Phillies, oh no, Nunez got on. Hang on. Oh, he's tired. Dang it. Base hit Nunez on the tired hit. So Condrey will bat. He'll bat for himself here. Schoenweiss looks in, gets a sign. My fault. I didn't notice that. 6-7. That's a triple on a 1-3. That's a single. 2 stars. So Schoenweiss gives a base hit to the pitcher. A triple on a 1-3 to 15 will be a single 2. Nunez the third, and the Phillies continue at it. And here's J Roll. 5 RBIs in the ball game, 2 home runs, a double, and 5 ribbies. Batting right-handed against Schoenweiss from the stretch. Here is the pitch. 2-7, ground ball to short. Thankfully, he missed that. He had everything in that 2 column. But a ground ball to short hits at Reyes, goes to second for the fielder's choice, and this one is finally going to the bottom of the ninth inning. Phillies 12, Mets 3, 12-13-2 for the Phils, 3-7-0 for the Mets. Valentine, probably a pinch hitter for Schoenweiss, and Reyes, the bat for the Mets here in the ninth. Condrey looks to finish it from the windup to Jose Valentin. 6-4, single 1-7. That's a 6. Base hit for Jose Valentin. He is 1 for 4 and keeps his hot hitting alive. So Valentin's on the single. The Mets will go to their bench here and bat for Schoenweiss. And let's see, on the right-handed hitter, let's see, they probably want a righty here. So they'll go no, he's not going to. Let's go to Ramon Castro. They'll go to the backup catcher here. So Ramon Castro will bat against Clay Condrey. Condrey from the stretch. Here is the pitch. 1-9. Hey, fly ball to deep left field is Castro. He sends the left fielder back. Home run 1-6. It's the 17. That will fall aimlessly in the Pat Burrow's glove. No adventure, and that is one away. Here is Jose Reyes, 0 for 4. Well, he's had, again, the last couple of days, he's kind of come down to earth a little bit. Condrey from the stretch and the pitch. 1-4. That's a double play ball. He hit it hard right at Rollins. Takes it to second himself. Back to first. That's an unassisted double play. 6-6-3. Doesn't need Utley for the assist. And that is your ball game. Final score: the Philadelphia Phillies 12 and the New York Mets 3. Let's go over some statistics here as we'll see what has happened and what transpired for the Phillies. Rollins 3 for 5, 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs. Utley 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Howard 2 for 5, a run scored, and 4 big RBIs. Like we said in the beginning, John Maine need to give the Mets some distance. He went 5 innings. Carlos Beltran needs to break out of his slump. He's 1 for 4. The Mets needed to control possibly the best 3 batters of a lineup: Rollins, Utley, Howard. They went for a combined 5 for 9. They went 7 of 14 with 9 RBIs and 4 home runs. Yes, the Mets did not control that. That is your ball game. Phillies scored one in the first. That was enough. Two in the second, led 3-0. Mets fought back to make it 3-1. Then the Phillies went up 5-1. Then the Mets came back with two in the fifth, giving them hope. And then the Phillies ended all hope with seven in the eighth, leaded by a monster three-run homer by Ryan Howard that may have ended up at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Phillies win at 12-3, 12-13 and 2 for the Fighting Phils. The Mets 3-8-0. So the Mets will now go to 3-4. They lost their last three. Their next game will be on a Wednesday. So there's no games on Tuesday, April 10th. They'll come back and play a couple night games. It'll be Adam Eaton taking on Oliver Perez on the Wednesday. And then we come back Thursday night, and that's Jamie Moyer taking on Tom Glavine. And then they will host the Washington Nationals for a home series this weekend. Well, folks, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone coming in. What a ball game. Jack Dawson, thank you. And I, yep, just said that they will be playing. They will finish this two-game series with the Fighting Phils, and then they'll play the Nationals for the weekend series coming up. So hopefully games they can win and hopefully games they can play again. So Mets struggling a little bit. So thank you. I appreciate you all coming in. Jack Dawson, Longworth World's Worst Gamer Sean, and thank you, Beatles, for coming in earlier. I appreciate all of you. Please like, please subscribe. Hey, thank you for the 3 likes. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody. This is New York Met Baseball. The Mets go to 3-4. We'll see you again for another edition of New York Met Baseball.